Welcome back, everybody. The History Guy here. It is the next episode in this series playing as Fascist Brazil. I am now the most powerful Axis nation standing. We've conquered most of North America with a couple of exceptions here. Newfoundland and New Brunswick out here on the coast. Or no, Labrador, I guess it is. And Alaska over here on the west coast. A little bit of a beachhead for the Allied forces. Looks like French and is that Norway? Yep. Canada and British Malaya. But for the most part, we've got it. And so a couple of things I want to go over. Somebody asked a question about, well, who's still fighting in Europe if Germany's out? Well, number one, I don't know if I said anything about this before, but nationalist Spain has had a huge resurgence. They've got 63 divisions fighting, along with 11 for the Japanese, and a bunch of miscellaneous things happening here. So nationalist Spain has not only taken all their territory back, they've pushed up and kind of pushed the line here in Vichy France. So you've got nationalist Spain, Vichy France, and a little bit of Italy left. And that's mainly who you see fighting in Europe. The Japanese have some divisions there. The Germans still have some divisions fighting, even though their territory's all gone. But I really don't expect any of that to last. But that's who's still fighting over there. Now, a couple of things. I want to thank Nick, first of all. Nick gave me some very helpful insight. This is why I ask for input and observations, because I know there are things I'm overlooking. I was constantly complaining about my lack of steel, and he correctly pointed out that I am producing plenty on my own. The problem is that I was exporting so much of it that I found myself short. So I've gone ahead and used some of my government points to change my economy to a closed economy. So I'm not exporting anything. I'm going to save all of my resources for myself. And so that should greatly kind of ramp up what I'm producing, and it also frees up all of my civilian factories to be used to repair my existing factories, my existing infrastructure, so I can get all these factories back online and producing the equipment that I'm going to need to hang on against the Allies. So you can see the red factories. You can also see here it's telling me that I'm only using 140 out of 180. Well, I've got a lot of factories that need repaired. So I'm not queuing up anything until these existing factories get repaired first. And once they do, then I'll worry about queuing up the rest. So in the meantime, that's kind of where we are. You can see I've got construction and repair as my national focus right now. I'm just trying to get all those factories back online. Jet engines are about to be finished, and we're still about a year away from nuclear bombs. And again, I think it was Nick that pointed out that I'm going to need strategic bombers in order to drop those. So at some point I will start producing some strategic bombers. Let's go ahead and take care of these last couple pieces of the North American continent that are under Allied control. So I'm in the process of very slowly moving forces into some of these areas to take them over. I'm also sending some more units to be garrisoned over here, so I can hopefully push them off, or at least contain them before they go any further up Baja, Mexico. So let's go ahead and stick around long enough to see what we're going to do after jet engines, and then we'll drop out and come back as needed. Of course, you know, things are simming much slower now because of all the units that are on the map. Still got some naval combat going on. I've combined all of my navy into one. At least until I can build it up a little higher. Looks like I'm going to need to build some more naval bombers at some point. Woo! It definitely sims slow now, that's for sure. I may have to go ahead and change my graphic settings to try and speed it up a little bit. So we're into August of 44. By this point, historically, the Allies had begun their invasion. They had taken back most of Italy. They were pushing up the Italian peninsula. They had landed in Normandy, and they were pushing, I think around August is probably when they took Paris. And then they pushed the line up to here, and of course then was the Battle of the Bulge counterattack. Okay, jet engines. Yugoslavia has capitulated. No real surprise there. Let's take a look and see where we are. We can go all the way up to advanced computing machine. That's going to give me a 5% reduction in research time. And now we've got jet engines, which means I don't know what that means as far as my existing aircraft. I think it probably just opens me up to be able to research new ones. It might be something I need to look at here real quick. Yeah, it gives me jet fighter, a little ahead. So I'll go ahead and wait, and the next thing that frees up, we'll go ahead and select jet fighter 1, which should definitely improve my air power a little bit. All right, we got a dangerous naval invasion happening here. It looks like the Brits very well may succeed landing on the northern coast of Brazil here. So we're going to have to shift some units over to help with this. First, let me see if I've got anything that I can deploy into the field right now. I do. Got some armored divisions that are at least well enough to get into the action. Okay, so they're going to go here. And what I probably need to do at this point is shrink the garrison area a little bit. I probably don't need to defend Venezuela. We can let them do that for themselves. Oh, no, 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 no. There we go. Now, we're going to send you guys up here. So I'm going to send some help over here to try and deal with this, because he's very nearly about to make a good landing there. And we're trying to move into this last territory here, and I will have most of North America under control. There we go. So far so good on the other two areas here where he's trying to land. Just got a big problem right here that hopefully is going to be resolved here in a second. How long is it going to take for him to get there is the question. Well, we'll see. It doesn't look like it's changing a whole lot. Okay, we got another problem here. I'm just about dealt with the issue down here. He actually gave up briefly on the invasion and then started hitting me in another spot. And now, while that was happening, the Allies successfully landed up here in Canada. So I've got another area I've got to deal with. The good news is I've got plenty of divisions I can actually put into that defense. So we're going to go ahead and take a bunch of these divisions and apply them to there. And hopefully we'll start shifting them down and they can go deal with this. He's already got, there's 7 for the UK and a bunch of other, it's a pretty decent sized force. So this is going to be an ongoing issue for me. I got to look at my Navy and start getting more ships to patrol the coast to keep them from being able to successfully land like this. I don't even know where my Navy is at this point. I've got 4 ships there. Where's the rest of my fleet? Alright, let's take a look. They're here. They're patrolling. They're not patrolling the Newfoundland Sea, which is where he went. Alright, that's my problem. So I'll get that fixed and straightened out, and then we'll see where we're at. Okay, so some good news here. I am winning some naval battles with my fleet. I sank the King George V, British battleship, as well as the HMS Orlando, which is a heavy cruiser. Bad news is he's got this big force that has landed here, so I'm sending some divisions down to deal with him, but it's going to take him a while to get there. In the meantime, he has landed in 2 different spots down here in the northern part of Brazil, and so I've just got a number of places that I have to kind of deal with right now, and it's going to be a lot of micromanaging the different areas of combat. So what we're going to have to do here is, at this point, rather than have a garrison unit, I'm going to go ahead and switch this up change this to where these guys have a job to do to push back. So we're going to start pushing back there. I can't draw two separate offensive lines, so I'll just do one at a time. We'll push them out of there. We'll have to do the same up here in the north, but I'll kind of focus on doing that one myself. Sending this big unit here of 28 divisions is going to take a while for them to get there, though. And then I'll shift some other units up here as well. In the meantime, I'm getting almost done with mechanized equipment 1. Still trying to get some repairs done here. It looks like I'll have some more factories coming online fairly soon. I got another nuclear reactor built, and I'm going to go ahead and queue up another one after that. Actually, I think I have a couple already queued up, so we'll do that. Start getting in a place where I can have some nukes ready to go. Yep, and holding down shift does indeed, said that all the way to the top. I knew there had to be a way to do it, so I thank you for that. I think that was Nick also. Appreciate all that helpful input. Alright, so mechanized equipment is done. We're going to go ahead next and start producing some jet fighters. Well, start researching jet fighters so I can produce them. Slowly moving troops into position to be able to push the Allies out down here in South America, but we're not quite there yet. Still waiting. This is a long process, especially in October as the weather starts turning bad, of bringing my troops down from northern part of Canada to get them in position to be able to fight. But in the meantime, my Navy's doing quite well. We've fought a couple of battles up and down the coast. That just looks like it's a convoy there, but sank some Norwegian ships. Let's see what's happening over in Europe. About the same. Oh, it looks like now the nationalist Spain is starting to lose its territory again. So that was a short-lived hope. Italy's being torn to pieces as before. And it looks like even over on the east, the Soviets are starting to hold their own now that Germany's out of there. Although it looks like Germany's got some territory that it's calling its own. So a lot of interesting things happening right now. And we're about to successfully push the UK out of British Guyana, which is their territory. Then we'll go over here and focus on the that's the Dutch colony state there. And we'll push them out next. Okay, we've researched aircraft carrier 2. Let's go ahead and take a look at the naval situation now. We actually can get a 50% bonus on the next class of cruisers, which would get me up to 1940 cruisers, and it only take 40 days to do that, so that's good. Still waiting on these units to get in position here. In the meantime, the British once again making a landing, this time up here in the corner. And we'll do, once again, what we need to do to push them out. And I don't have a Navy that I can patrol down here yet. Once I get my Navy built up a little more, I'll be able to patrol down there as well. Alright, so it looks like we sank some convoys. Also a British destroyer. But all's going well with the naval patrolling of the coast. I'm just waiting to get some troops down here, and he's got a bunch. I mean, it looks like he just put some more divisions in here. Yeah, that's gonna be fun, but we gotta push him out of that harbor. Oh, here we go again down here. Maybe not. All right, so it's just gonna be bouncing back and forth, dealing with multiple points of landing until I can shore things up enough here. It's gonna take a little while. Now that I've got mechanized units, I'm gonna go ahead and start adding some mechanized infantry to my infantry divisions. And in doing so, I think I'll remove a couple of the infantry battalions. Just replace them with mechanized infantry. Make them a little more mobile. Eventually switch them all over to that. That means, of course, I have to start producing mechanized infantry, which I don't think I'm doing at the moment. There we go. I'll have to queue those up. And I'm going to need a bunch of them. Oh, another attempted naval invasion down here. Looks like I'll be able to push this one off okay. We're into December of 1944 now. I'm just about finally going to have my divisions down here that I can start hitting him with, but it's going to be challenging. Let's see what's happening. 21 days away from my next research on, it looks like, naval doctrine. Continuing to get my repaired factories back online. You can see here now, for the first time, fielded manpower is almost even on the two sides of the war. That's not good news for me. Japan has the largest number of divisions, but followed by me. Nationalist Spain's just about out of the war again. Next would be Nationalist China. Over here you got the UK and France as kind of the leaders. British Raj has lost some territory. I wonder, that must be China that's dealing with that. Yep, down here. So a lot of war still happening in Asia. People forget how much of the war was fought there because we focus so much on what happened in Europe and in the Pacific. But still not looking good for nationalist Spain. And here comes an... Nope. I thought maybe an invasion of the East Coast, but not so much. So I've gone ahead and shifted the priority on some of my production so I can get the things that I need the most, getting priority on factories, and then the stuff that I don't need quite as much, like artillery here, can be sent down to the bottom because I've already got a surplus on artillery. So we'll send some of those things to the bottom. Destroyers I got a lot of right now, so just kind of shift the priority, make sure I'm producing what I need to be producing, and other stuff can kind of wait. I don't think I need that many close air support. So we're almost into 1945, and I finally just about have these units where I want them to be able to hopefully push the Allies out of North America. Oh boy, he's landing down here now. Interesting. So he's getting smart. He's figuring out where I have troops and where I don't. So let's go real quick and see. There's nothing that I can rush to the field that isn't already done. So we're going to have to do this the old-fashioned way. He's got 12 divisions landed over here. We'll have to shift over and deal with that. All right, Nationalist Spain is out as we go into the new year, 1945. I'm shifting some units down to help deal with another invasion in South America. In the meantime, the first part of my force has finally arrived in the area on the eastern part of Canada here, where I can hopefully deal with this foothold the Allies have here. And it looks like that's going well even before half of the divisions arrive. So that should be some good news for me there. All while I have some bad news happening elsewhere down here. Two beachheads, so to speak, that he's produced, so we're going to once again have to push him out of there. There's hunter-killer groups. We'll go ahead and keep our naval doctrine going. About to research my next line of destroyers, and I think we'll go with the next line of battleships here as well. So I'm going to pause real quick and see what's happening. We got an unread naval battle results happening here. What is that? Oh, that's my main force going up against what looks like an American battleship, the USS Texas, as well as a American submarine. Most of my force isn't there yet, it looks like. So we'll start turning the tide once they all get into position. There we go. Hopefully we'll sink the Texas. I want to look at the state of my Navy. So I have lost some ships. I'm down to 27 from 28 in that force there. I've got 9 in this second group now. Mostly destroyers, though, so I want to build that up more before I start sending them out to patrol. I've got some outdated production here. Oh, it's my destroyers. We're not really producing any of those at the moment, though. Alright, let's see what's happening in South America. Nothing new, really. Just got to make sure he doesn't flood the area with units that I won't be able to push out. I've got to get more divisions into position down there. Okay, I've got my full force now, finally ready to hit Canada. I hit this little spot in Canada here, and it looks like it's going to happen pretty fast now that everybody's there. I've already destroyed a number of these divisions. There's only 4 left. It looks like we'll push in there pretty quickly now. Also got another naval battle. This looks like, oh, some of my naval bombers just went up against some of his convoys. In the meantime, got to figure out what I'm doing here. Got to push them out of South Carolina. They've taken the harbor in Charleston. I'm going to start pushing them back, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen at the moment. And in South America, again, I've got to deal with these pesky little invasions that keep happening. But for the most part, I've been able to drive them back out as soon as I get enough troops into position. Let's see if there's anything. Now, I'm still a while away from being able to get anything in the field because most of my production is going into reinforcements. In the meantime, we're coming up on an advanced computing machine. We're also about 6 months away from being able to start producing nukes, but then, of course, it's going to take a little while longer to actually get those nukes into the field. And I need to remember to start queuing up. I need to get strategic bombers researched so I can build those as well. So a lot going on. I'm holding my own for the most part, but of course Europe is a different situation. It's looking uglier by the day, and it looks like pretty soon the Axis is going to be out of Europe altogether. You can see here right now it's showing 5% in favor of defenders. For the most part, it's the UK that's carrying them, and France to a certain extent as well. All right, he's trying to land some other places as well over here in South America. We'll just try to contain that the best I can. I'm not going to worry about pushing them out constantly. We'll push them out up here, and then I can send some of those divisions down to help. All right, at last we have sunk that pesky American battleship, the USS Texas. Was sunk by the NRB Humayata, one of my ships. Let's see which one it is here. It's my oh, it was a submarine actually that sank it. I didn't even realize I had any subs. It must predate the war because I haven't produced any. So I've gone ahead as well, and I've sent my other fleet down to start patrolling in the Caribbean, hopefully to kind of root out whatever British fleet is down there that's landing these troops on the shores. In the meantime, suddenly it doesn't look like the British have any divisions in this location, so I'm sending my troops back to take it back. There's advanced computing machine, which will give me a 5% boost on my research. We could go improved rocket engines. We could go a couple of different places here. So that might be helpful. Assembly line production, a lot of different ways to go. Just trying to decide what makes the most sense right now. Oh, you know what? I did say I needed to do this. I need strategic bombers. So let's start focusing on those so we'll be able to drop nukes. The nukes, by the way, are about 5 months away from first being able to be produced. I'm not sure how many nuclear reactors I have. I think I'll have 3 by that point. So I'll at least be able to produce 3 nukes a year. I'm going to need more than that, though, obviously. Oh, we've got our first ace pilot, Pedro Labatut. So good for him. That's awesome. We're just kind of containing the Allies in South America, or South Carolina for now. I'm not too worried about that. We're about to push them out of Canada, at least this spot here. Might send another division here to help out with that. But it looks like it's going to end in about 3 more days. As far as the war itself goes, 6% in favor of the defenders. I really just would very much like this war to be over. But that's not the way it's going to go. Axis almost done in Europe. They just got this little sliver here for Italy, Vichy France, and that's about going to do it there. Of course, lots of things happening out here. You know, I haven't checked for a while is whether or not the Japanese still hold the island of Oahu. They just never turned that into an invasion of the United States mainland, which would have been really helpful had they done that. So we've got a naval battle down here, and it looks like, wow, we lost 3 destroyers, took out 2 destroyers and a light cruiser. So I'm down to just 6 ships there, so I might want to recall that fleet and maybe get them boosted up a little bit, maybe pass along a few of the ships from the other fleet. I'll get that all sorted out. Okay, so I'm tired of these allies down here in South America, so I'm putting together a force. I'm sending a whole bunch of them to surround it, and then I'm going to send them in and just push these guys right off. I just got to keep doing what I'm doing, just bouncing around, hitting the threats where they come, all while trying to build up a navy to hopefully, once and for all, put an end to any chance he has of landing an army on my shores. So once everybody gets into position down here, I'll go ahead and launch my attack to push them out. That should be happening fairly soon. In the meantime, nothing coming for a while now. My jet fighters will be done in about a month. But the next thing after that, of course, is nuclear bombs. Still 137 days away. It's March of 1945. All right, here we go. Already taken back one of the territories that he owns here. Now we're going to start pushing toward the other 2. And it should go fairly well. I mainly want to get Charleston, though, because that's his base of operations for any potential breakout. So I've got 31 divisions here. That should be enough to get this job done. In the meantime, things continue to push in the favor of the defenders. 14%. If it gets up to 50%, hopefully we can sue for peace. I don't know what that'll look like, what territory, if any, I'll be able to hang on to. But I guess we'll see. Just continuing to hold there as best I can. Nothing happening at the moment down south. Looks like everything's quiet here, at least for the time being. And things have changed very little over here in Europe. Not going to go well for me. Let's go ahead and see if we can push these guys. Yep, looks like we'll be able to do that. So once I finish this up, I think I'll wrap it up for this episode. Not a lot happening. Basically just kind of biding my time, hoping that technologically I can get some breakthroughs that'll lead me into a place of further success. That combined with continuing to repair all my factories. I still have quite a list of factories that are going to need repaired all over the country. So that's an ongoing thing. I do, however, have a coup that should be just about ready to kick off in England, though I don't know that that's going to necessarily... Oh, there it is. I don't know that that's going to do a lot because I don't have anything over there to help them. But we'll see what happens here. Let me see what I can do, if anything. It's kind of clogging up my system a little bit here. Alright, so it looks like it's basically just going to be this little area up here, and I guess this would be Yorkshire. We've got Newcastle as the capital of a fascist Brazil, or a fascist Britain. It's not going to really go well, I don't think. We'll start a Lend-Lease and see what we can maybe send to them to help them out. I don't have a lot to send them, really. We'll send them some artillery. Yeah, I don't have anything I can send them as far as tanks go. I can send them a bunch of fighters. I got a bunch of those sitting around. We'll go 100 monthly. I don't know that that's going to make any difference, but at least it's something, right? I would guess they'll probably last not very long at all. We'll invite the British Civil War to become a part of our war. But what it does is at least it forces the British to focus on something else for even a little while. Not sure what else, if anything, I can do for them. Alright, Scandinavia. Considering the strategic value of the Scandinavian region to British defensive efforts and the potential risks of seeing an enemy build influence there, the British Parliament has debated the possibility of a military intervention. While the political implications of such action weighed heavily in Winston Churchill, several decisive arguments were delivered before it was decided the rest of the debate would be conducted behind closed doors. So that'll be interesting to see what happens with that. Oh yeah, we can send an expeditionary force. Let's see. I don't know how well that will go. Who's this? That's Arthur, this guy here, yeah. Can we send that whole thing? I guess the question is, how does it get there? Does that happen on its own, or do I have to send them there? I guess we'll find out. In the meantime, we'll push through here and finish this off. It's just Charleston they have now, and that's about to fall. We'll keep an eye on the British Empire, as it's known here, and their 26 divisions and 5 factories. Ah, they're gonna make me fight for this, aren't they? There we go. So we'll get them pushed out. We'll keep an eye on this little civil war that we've created in Britain. See if anything comes from that. Probably not. Alright, so as we wrap up this episode, we'll be getting into the 1st of April of 1945, historically when victory was finally achieved in Europe. I've pushed them off their little beachhead here in Charleston, South Carolina. I'm about to do the same up here in, I guess it's Nova Scotia, yep. Leaving them only with this little area here. It's interesting to note that all the divisions that the fascist country of Britain actually has are in Canada, where they do absolutely no good whatsoever to what else is happening. So I believe these are probably the divisions that I gave him, my expeditionary force. So basically all I've done is give control of units in North America over to a country that's about to cease to exist. So as you can see, they already lost some territory because I'm not going to be able to get those divisions over there. I don't see any feasible way to ship divisions over there without costing myself valuable assets. So we're going to wrap up right there. As always, I welcome your input, your comments, your questions, your criticisms. You've already been very helpful to me, and I know you'll continue to do so. I know that wasn't the most entertaining of episodes, but it was mainly just kind of holding my own. Hopefully in the next episode I'll be able to start taking it back at the Allies a little bit, but we'll see what happens. In the meantime, thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.